Good morning, everyone. Today it's a great morning, and I'm here with Nicolae Cirpala, Global Peace Ambassador CEO based in Russia. My name is Clive Donley, Global Peace Ambassador, Kenya, and we are brilliant this morning to have a great meeting with Ambassador Nicolae. Karibu sana, welcome.
Yeah, thank you very much for inviting for this interview. Let's build some peace today. Brainstorm a bit, dialogue.
Yeah. So basically, I would like to know how you've been going on with your journey in peace building, majorly in your countries and many other countries that you've been working on with.
Okay. um, I meet the movement, like peace movement, in 1997, and I started then to work like already 24 years working for peace, and I was in very different situations, different conferences and different rallies organized, and also online, offline events, and working. Most of it is work with people because the most difficult is that there are many programs for the peace, but one of the great, how to say, elephant in the room, that people don't think so much about the origin of this conflict, So we'll talk about this a little bit later. Let's go to further.
Awesome. And also, I would love to know how you've been tackling maybe retaliation when you're raising awareness in peace. How have you been tackling retaliation maybe from communities? How have you been going through that?
Okay, there is a great, how to say, key for peace. I will tell it in the end. It's the secret, just stay at the end. So, but basically what I try to say is that, how to say, I meet thousands of people sometimes per day, and it is, how to say, first of all, the people asking from me money. And then another discuss how are you and something like this. But idea is that people, if you analyze the world today, even in how to say most poor country, people almost have everything. They have something like cell phones, or
Yeah.
just almost everything. Like not so. There are starvation on the planet, unfortunately yet, but most of the difficulties that people don't have peace. And why they don't have peace? Because the people don't think about the root of the conflict, and the root is inside of every people. If you see now in the Middle East, there is a big strike, and just if we think a little bit more, how to say, deep about, people supposed to think about the soul, about the mind, because like about body, we, how to say, analyze, like humans analyze almost everything, but about mind is terra incognita. Therefore, the psychologists, they scratch a little bit about, they think a little bit, they know a little bit about our mind, but not so much. Religious people need know a little bit more, and this is the origin of conflict. People call it Satan or other, but it's something inside of every head that is pushing to strike, to fight. And unfortunately, people for now, they they are like ostrich with the head in the sand, and they think that lion will not, how to say, eat them. But this is the most important, because even a small idea, for example, how to say, if you are going the high road and highway, and you are driving the car, and just a small idea could bring you to accident. You just turn to right or the left, and that's all. So the same is about human mind. Human mind work like we're talking with ourselves 95% of the day, the psychologist said. So this is big machine that working and working and working our mind. And if there is not good ideas, you just catch one bad idea for steal something or to fight or other, you develop, because mind is just working. You give this the mind for the mind the idea, and it develop and the strikes that we see at the global planet now. And unfortunately, this trend is very difficult, as people are fighting, even politicians of the big countries, they today are fighting here and there because they have fighting in their families, they divorce or others, and this is not, this is natural. We will discuss it later, but let's go now for another question.
Yep, awesome. So basically, I wanted to engage you on a topic whereby the world is changing today, and there's a lot of escalation of violence in every continent. And so I would love to engage with you as a peace specialist and an ambassador who has been doing a lot of this work, humanitarian work across the world. So I'd love to hear from you. What do you think on the majorly escalating violence in Middle East, in Gaza and Israel? And also, how do you think multilateral cooperation, is it failing? Because the United Nations is trying to call upon for a ceasefire. But you see, up to yesterday, United States had not yet joined the United Nations Security Council call for the escalation of violence. What they're saying is they're trying to engage in de-escalation, but they're not joining the United Nations Security Council in the escalation of the violence. As a peace ambassador, and as a diplomat, what is your view on this?
Yeah, I like very much that UN invite the sides to discuss and dialogue, and this is the most important, is dialogue, and also the people living there. Um, it's very important to think about the results, because people don't think about results for now. They just bombing each other, one side to another side, and that's all. They want to just bomb it. So. But the result is many people are dying, and every, even one soul is important, but there is hundreds dying there, or thousands. So they supposed to think about the results, anything, because like I don't know why, but people till now don't care so much about history, because history shows that all these wars don't bring peace. So the idea is that the war never will bring peace, and there may be not agreements, but they could fix it by discussion and cooperation and dialogue, and as you said, multilateral. So let them do it. Especially nowadays is very important. We have this the Global Peace Building Network, as we are building this Peace Ambassadors Network. We are building this network that every human being, everyone, could receive Peace Ambassador certificate and start work in their community, and their families, communities, and cities, country, and the world for peace, uniting people. Let's go do conference, do events, do. It's not just by this communication between how to say how to say head of the states, for example, Palestine and Israel or UN. There is every individual should work for this, because for now they work opposite. I receive a report from the Palestine that almost all families, many families in Palestine, they don't eat. They just collecting money to have to collect, to buy a rocket and send it to Israel. So I think this is very crazy. Just they are doing like every day, as you see, like few days ago, like thousands of rockets go from Palestine, and back came even more. So it's crazy. Just somebody is supposed to be wise and just stop it and just go dialogue. And this is our job at the global peace building effort to make these peace clubs, peace teams, and emphasizes every day as this we have people receive always these ideas about fight. They supposed to work opposite peace every second.
Yeah. Yes. Awesome. So, for me, I'm thinking the United States of America has a need to join the United Nations Security Council on a call for de-escalation and global cessation violence there. Because I think there's a violation of international humanitarian law, in violation of international human rights law, despite of Israel claiming that the attacks are not disproportionate. Still, we can see there is violation of human rights there. So I think it is critical for United Nations, the United States of America to join in the call and try to lobby in the diplomatic efforts in the escalation of the violence. Yeah. And
Yes,
so
yes.
the next question I would love to pose to you is, do you think with the growing global tension, because it's like in every continent we're having diplomatic fractures and tension, do you think the future of the world, can we determine it to be in a better place, or the diplomatic fractures may lead us to another war?
Yeah, hopefully not. Hopefully no. And there is two issues, as you said. First question about like UN. I like very much. I participate in one event as a Universal Peace Federation. There is another big organization for the peace. So they propose very important tool for peace. One is that at the UN supposed to be interreligious council because Israel and Palestine they fight more on this religious issue. Uh, one is one religion, another is another religion, so they don't agree about this. So if UN will have this council interreligious, so also there will be because how to say religious people they inspire like motivate the people uh, mind. So therefore they supposed to have this United Nations, not just political because political is just by management, but also about religious because culture, our culture is terrible. We see on TV fights like blockbusters and all of this strike and all of this and the hero with the guns and all of this. Arms never bring peace. If people don't understand till now, they're supposed to analyze history one more time. Arms never bring peace. And if there is somebody, for example, if one country like defeat another country with the arms, they how to say this is temporary peace. It's just till these arms is gone, peace will gone. So we see that around the planet. But hopefully there is great hope nowadays because nowadays is the time of the second coming. And the second coming Messiah bring with the great tools. Another one was for the Palestine and Israel, for example, to make a stadium between these two countries, and also to make a peace park that there will be not just demilitarization zone where there's no guns, but also peace park where people will live just in peace.
Yes.
So therefore, we're supposed to change our culture. Our culture is shouldn't be because everywhere is this fight culture in the on TVs and on the phones. All of this is shooters on all of this, and people get crazy. The children like if he all his young how to age he was working and shooting on this with the and the shooters on their phone. So he automatically is kind of like educated to use guns for anything. So just crazy ideas. As you see, the young people go in the schools and they are shouting there or other crazy ideas they receive it. This is not normal. We're supposed to how to eradicate all this violence because all the history of fighting, this is wrong history. It shouldn't be any. So people supposed to live in peace. They want to live in peace, and they supposed to start with themselves, as we discussed now in the Global Peace Building Network. Empower yourself with the peace and expand this peace in your families, countries, and the world. And another
Yeah.
one you say about the peace, about the hope. Yes, there is a hope. There is a hope as we are living in the second coming Messiah time. Uh, the second coming Messiah, they are through Mother and to Father. They are making a lot of rallies for peace and rallies for hope now with billions of people. And we will discuss another time. But um, another what I analyzed because during these 24 years for the peace, I not just how to say organizing conferences. So I I have experiences and also I have studied how to make different people how they're working for peace and all of these to find the greatest formula how to it would be. And during my study, I find it very good that now is a social network. You know, God sent social network to the people because till now, you know, a new country, especially in Africa or in other countries like dictators, there was a dictator, and they could make a team, political team, and they how to say they how to say fight for that to be like forever king in their countries, and nobody know how this corruption work and so on. But now with the social network, everything is became crystal clear. If there is a small mistake, that automatically go there. For example, some presidents could say that or the gun, good, great, or the big country there, and they started fighting in Syria. They send their armaments there and send the armaments and sell it there, and there was a conflict there, and there was this how to say new country. They were thinking to make another new countries there, but it how it raised, it fell down very quickly because people nowadays couldn't live in this. There all of these mistakes go on the net, and that remains there forever. So
Yeah.
this is big hope as people supposed to think that any this small, even they are president of the country and they are started fighting, for example, in another country, they give the order, they take the same sin. This is the same mistake as the people who fight there because they give the order, they sell the guns and everything there. And for me, it's just crazy because these so-called developed countries, they sell armaments there in the Middle East, in Syria, for example, and then they send their peacemakers to take down this conflict. So, and their own people died there. So this is very crazy. It's just crazy. They sell armament and they send people to fight against that armament that they sell there. As we see, there is big hope because, like I said, that that country that raised their Middle East, it very quickly failed because it's unnatural. People shouldn't make peace with their guns. People don't want it, and now every this mistake will, for example, if some how to say some men or women start these wars, these remain forever in the internet. And what do you think that their descendants will think about them? You know, let's say, for example, if they start it and the end of their life, what their descendants, for example, their children or grandchildren will say about my father or my mother was good man, or he was fighting around and all of this and kill a lot of people. So this is very important, and this remains for generations. So therefore, we're supposed to purify all of this fighting, and there is a hope. Thank you.
Yes. So on the next one, I wanted to know how United Nations has set up a roadmap for us in realization of Sustainable Development Goal number 16 on development of peace. And still globally, we are seeing a lot of diplomatic fractures. We're seeing conflict and tensions everywhere. But again, when you check on the other side, we only have like 9 years to achieve the Sustainable Development Goals. But still, I believe there is less being done on peace, because peace is a focal point. We cannot tackle climate crisis if we don't have peace. We cannot tackle inequalities if we don't have peace. So I'm thinking that still there's a lot that we need to do. And I'm glad that at Global Peace Building Network, we are committed at mainstreaming the global peace building agenda by 2027. And we believe that it's going to be realization, because we're gaining more peace ambassadors and trainings and mobilizing more people, bringing them together on board in mobilization of peace. So do you think, yes, there is hope. I believe there is hope. But do you think 2027, 2030, is it still a focal point in realization of the agenda for peace? The growing tension, since there are more countries are arming themselves in preparation of conflict and war.
Yeah, unfortunately, that preparation is a business, and people are thinking just like a business. But for example, if one man is a director of the, how to say, factory, like I said, what they all put their attention, and this is very important, and people supposed to think about. Anyhow, so about goal and about this vision for 2027 and 2010.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, this is very great vision, and therefore we are working day and night and uniting all these people and organization and with the peace ambassadors movement to stop these conflicts, and it's up to us, you know. In the past, there was a great leader. For example, Jesus Christ is the greatest leader, greatest peacemaker, and in his lifetime, unfortunately, not so many people support him, and the last days, almost everybody ran from him. But now he is ruling the world because all constitutions start with America and other democracies, they are based on Jesus' laws. So therefore, even now we see this uprising of the conflicts. Um, there is a hope because at the end of the days, that is how to say, more strikes are going around, but it signifies and show us that soon supposed to be peace, and we supposed to support those leaders who work for peace. And nowadays, I like very much in many countries. Some countries take with revolutions or others, but people already, as I said, that everybody is how to say, part of the community. Everybody is a part of the country, and everybody is like in the democracy elect their how to say, presidents and their leaders. So please elect them, those who want to work for peace and development, not those who strike around. Because anyhow, I understand this because after World War II, there start to know all this trend with TVs and there was radios and TVs, and now is internet, and there is like different stars, and they are, and politicians, they work just for ratings, ratings, and for them it doesn't matter. They think the people speak good about them or not. So if they make a conflict, of course all humans think, look for this ratings is going on for this person because people are aware about, because like, there is fighting, there is a crisis, there is like this. But uh, I like very much compare two countries. I compare two countries. One was in communist countries, and another is like democratic countries. The policemen in the communist countries, they are collecting, reports from these how many how to say scandals, how many incidents was, and as many reports they collect, as big as their salaries. In the democratic countries, opposite, as more quiet is society, as more salary is for policemen. So therefore, we support work for this.
Yeah.
As more quiet is the country, like you said, the communities and the cities and the and the countries, as more they supposed to receive more, I would say, um, awards and salaries and and develop it more because and the peace is going very good. And
Yes,
I'm very happy about new continent, Africa, because Africa raised them like, for example, with the world and Africa, comparing is Africa is going very quickly developing because there is no more strikes as was in the past. You know, like all of this was different apartheid or other thinking that like all of this what was corruption there. Now people there go very quickly with development with the business, and I very much appreciate that people start to how to say the religious. You know, they start to religious how to say. They develop also in the religious side. You know, many religions flourish there nowadays, and is a very good spirit, positive. Please keep it there with this trend.
yes. I believe peace is the only thing that can unite the world, for the world to develop, for people to live together in harmony and build together resilient communities. And so one more last question on global agendas of peace building. Activists around the globe have been concerned more about the situation that has been happening in Russia, majorly with the arrest and detainment of Navalny, an activist, and Navalny, who is an activist. He has been campaigning against corruption. And the last time I checked, Russia.
um, I don't know so much details about this case, but anything. Um, just what I try to say that very important is what people propose. Like for example, me, Nikolai, and you, please, what people propose. If people invite people for revolutions, like let's destroy this or destroy that or something like this is not good for the if people call for the strike. If people call for the peace, for me, peace is very good, and people call they propose something constructive, something constructive. Because, as I said, there was a middle country and Middle East. They start a country just recently, a few years ago. They start a country. Everybody was thinking, oh, they will, how they will take this big part of the Middle East, but it falls very quickly because they propose fighting. For from the beginning, seems like they was, like fighting for the peace, for the I don't know, for peace or something like this. So many people like it, and also as I'm working more on the internet, many people even like people from internet they try to support them, but as they see that many people die there, this is terrible. So therefore, for me, it doesn't matter what kind of leader is in opposition or is ruling of countries or others, but it's very important about the ideals. If they go with the dialogue, if they propose very good, how to say, development, this is just the best because this how people would flourish in the peace and development, no in fighting. So as I know, there are many how to say in different countries, in developed countries and USA and other countries, there is um, how to say many activists who call for this and for that and let's destroy this and that. This is unacceptable. Shouldn't be. This is supposed to be very even even people call for revolution. It's supposed to be peaceful revolution that will not be there any victims, and there will be good proposals. Uh, because many people have, like I said, they work for the ratings, and the ratings are high, and they propose, oh, maybe this should also be like this, and maybe let's make this revolution, or maybe that one, or maybe that. But uh, it shouldn't be like this. He's supposed to propose very good development, and I'm very happy that nowadays the almost in many countries the how to say politicians start to ask their people who elect them what to do, how to do it better, how to what you're supposed to do this in our city and that city. I live in that country, and it's very important that it's good trend. They open social media accounts, and they receive the questions from their people, and they are close to the people, and this is inevitable, and this will go on and on and on, because people could, could not, we could not say that these people are good and these people are bad. All people are God's children. We all everyone are um, one big family of humankind, of the heavenly parent, this Messiah second coming son. And therefore, we shouldn't lose even one life. It's very important. Any life is very important. Maybe people some make a mistake in the life, but if we educate those people, they could change their behavior and become good men. So therefore, we have the constitution. Therefore, we have um, uh, this system for the democratic world that take care of all people. And nowadays, I'm very happy with these recent activities. As you see, all countries, they in this pandemic time, as the coronavirus, they are fighting for every life. As you see that every life becomes very important. They invent vaccine, and they make this lockdown to take care all of every life is very important to save a life. So therefore, people shouldn't just think about their own country, but other countries too. And as we see with this vaccine, many countries who develop the vaccines, they send the how to say vaccine to another countries, poor countries. So this is very good that they are helping each other. So this is one.
Yes, this works. I have two more questions for you. The first one is on the issue of vaccine nationalism, the issue of how the pandemic is limiting development of peace in many countries, since the pandemic has been setting pushbacks on humanitarian actions, on peace building in different countries, and majorly in those conflict-fested zones. We see there's much disproportionate impact because it's a double crisis situation. There's no food, and again, protection from the COVID-19 virus. And so majorly great countries have been in the run to secure vaccines for their countries and their population, unlike some poor countries in the world have been relying on some programs. Like in Africa, African countries have been relying upon COVAX for the supply of the COVID vaccine. But today we see there are more new COVID-19 variants coming into the continent. And Africa currently is suffering due on the deficit of vaccines. Countries has exhausted their vaccines, and also countries have barely vaccinated 1% of their population. For example, Kenya has finished its vaccine, and we are not aware if the people will get the second jab of AstraZeneca vaccine, because India is the powerhouse of AstraZeneca vaccine, and the supply is not yet coming into Kenya. And so people are worried because the emergence of new variants. I believe this one is going to set more pushbacks on global recovery, and also is going to set pushbacks on peace building, because we're mainstreaming all efforts across the globe in building peace in societies and creating resilient societies. But you see, we have a double crisis situation. So how do you think we should go about the vaccine nationalism and vaccine hoarding from bigger countries?
Yeah, thank you very much for your question. It's very good question and very important. Um, I have my mind on this, and as I'm working as a global peace building network. We are working in 7 areas. One is interfaith cooperation, interfaith dialogue, and um, so this is very important. It's just crazy important. We're supposed to take urgent steps toward this because people are spending a lot of money in for the guns, arms, and the planet is responding out back with this COVID-19, and maybe in the future, as futurologists, it could be another disaster, unfortunately. Therefore, now is very uh, good point that we supposed to turn back 180% and not fight anymore and work for peace. I like very much you as a Cliff that you are great peace ambassador. You working for the environment because now the planet is say his how to say the environment say the words that reply to the humankind just stop with this COVID. So it's just answer for the human ignorance that for now we was fighting around and we was polluted planet, and it's very good that at Global Peace Building Network one area where we work is just cleaning up the planet. We're supposed to just clean up as soon as possible to 2027, and this project is just great. Plant 1 billion trees and rays on the planet. So
Yeah.
therefore, this is we're supposed to take urgent actions for this, like environment and peace. And why people so crazy to, how to say, to spend so much money for the armaments? Because they could invest this money for the vaccine and other things that humans need right now to eradicate um, starvation and all these hot issues like natural disasters and others. And this is my call for humankind. Please stop now and take the turn to new good prosperity way in the peace. Not spend money in the and now we're living, the democratic world. Everybody we could say to our government, please don't spend our tax for armaments and for fine for strikes. Please spend for peace building and the vaccine and everything. And another issue, what I heard from the second card Messiah, is that against different illness of humankind, there is natural, enemies. As a Orient medicine, they use, different leaves and other natural remnants for to eradicate all of this illness. So the same is now because till now people was just using and they use for the illness just the same as a fighting, and COVID is another one. How there was a bacteria and people invent this medicine against them, antibiotic, and there this became more smart these bacteria, and they already how to say get resilience over this antibiotic, and they again uh, attack humans, and we invade another antibiotic and another, and it's always this fighting will never stop. If there will be natural enemies that eat these bacteria, so their problem is solved. People
Yeah.
supposed to work in this area to invent this kind of and find what is the natural enemy for the COVID-19, and that's all.
Yes.
Not invent something, because this like this how to say scientists are very good and they work with this, DNA and all of these. They change these codes and all of these. Maybe it's more or less okay, but as you see that there's more people, how to say, more children, how to say, born up with autism and other these difficult problems because of these vaccines and all of this DNA that humans try to, just fight on it. There is natural, how to say, maybe bacteria or other virus who could need this COVID-19 or other bacteria. So people supposed to use like this as as the people are doing. And even I heard the stories that in Korea, um, some natural healers could heal AIDS. AIDS is very strong illness, but they could find all of these remediants from the nature and they heal AIDS. So the same people supposed to find these just two callings. One is take care of the environment, like let's clean all the planet till 2027 and raise 1 billion trees as second coming Messiah as God. Yeah.
Yes. And I'm glad that Global Peace Building Russia, Global Peace Building Network in Russia has been mainstreaming the agenda in conservation of environment, to tackle climate change. Also, the call for peace ambassadors across the world to mainstream the agenda in planting trees and just bringing people into the awareness of conserving the environment and tackling climate change. Yes, it's good that Global Peace Building Network has been inspiring that. And so majorly, there are more peace ambassadors are coming up and people in communities are gaining awareness on the betterment of conservation of the environment. And also they're gaining awareness on the issue of climate change. But majorly the one impact that you're having, global leaders have been having some global summits on the issues on how they're setting a roadmap in tackling climate change. But majorly it has been empty promises because we still see there's much carbon in the atmosphere. Still, governments are not acting as if climate change is a crisis. And what is your take on that?
I'm working more, as you understand, more on the grassroots with the people. So I think, of course, the government have their own agendas, and they try to do more or less. But it's up to us, any human being, as we are 7 billion plus people. Everyone, some of us are, that how to say, boss of some business or others. We supposed to take care of it to not pollute the planet. And when it will came to every individual, and that will bring a big change because not just government push and or think or make a laws, but every human body could every human being could make good steps toward this environment. So therefore, I start this grassroots organization like Global Peace Building Network that many people, doesn't matter he is activist or not, or he is the chief somewhere or not, he is the boss somewhere or not. Everybody, everyone, we could make and we should make. And for example, as is Earth Day, we turn off the light, so everybody is supposed to take care of light, like turn off the light when we don't use it. Or all of this, I just started with myself and purify clear. I don't how to say uh, make trash outside or all opposite. We collect the trash and all of this. We're supposed to educate this kind of culture, not what is the culture nowadays is just like let's live just this day and this is day is very important and they do a very different crazy things, but this day is there will be another day and all of them supposed to be brilliant, clear, pure and with good impact, with good deeds. Yeah, that,
Yes.
that I want to say,
Uh,
because, and one more time I want to invite everybody, please receive a global peace building certificate and start to work with us, as we are consulting people how to work from. We have a very great resources as a consultant, and also um, not just consulting, but also we could help with new events, and we could speak at the events, invite another great thinkers to help you with the new events, and how to manage your events, how to manage your project. All of these we are inspire people to do. And as you know, like as is, we find the formula to for the global peace, and this is um, we award the global peace building certificates for the ambassador, global peace ambassadors, and they have started their own groups, as you are doing in your country, Cliff, and they register their own organization, and they work for peace and environment, and we inspire everybody to, and we give a consultation how to make it better, how to network with the people and network with other partnership with other organizations. And I'm very happy about you, because you recently just planted 5,000 trees. This is a great achievement. Please keep like this as we are in the peace building, global peace building network. And so everybody, every human being could do it. Just contact us. Contact Cliff in the
yes.
Kenya and me in globally.
Yes. So thank you so much, Ambassador Nick, for your great time and great interview with you. As we're aiming at building resilient communities, bringing everybody on board as we spread the message to billions on building peace in every country. We call on every ambassador, peace ambassador, and everybody from all walks of life to join in the campaign in realization of peace as a inevitable necessity that unites us both spiritually and physically as we interact daily in activities with humanity. And so thank you so much, Ambassador Nick, today for your great interview, great knowledge in global news and global experience. We're aiming at engaging you more as we develop peace with global ambassadors across the world and also in Kenya. Thank you so
Yeah.
much for your
So
great.
let's call what I try to say. Let's development what we have for now. We develop this every morning meetings for the reading word scriptures and other good scriptures and manuals to purify the mind. So everybody is joining to go to join online or offline to see our channel Message to Billions. And they also as we are activists, we have devotional meetings every evening. We pray for the planet, as because to develop, as we were discussing um, about mind development, mind discovery. So people supposed to think about and join, as we are this global prayer chain. We invite everybody, because just how to say, to have to control ourselves, we're supposed to have these tools, and we have these tools from God. We have the prayer. We could pray for each other, because people mind could work both sides, like hate somebody or pray for somebody. So hate also is kind of prayer, but why people supposed to use this? They're supposed to use a prayer to wish a good and to think good and to say good words and to make good actions. So thank you very much for this interview. Let's make another interviews, and I am very much inspired about you activities and you initiative. Let's discuss it now and invite all globally to make this global peace building campaign till
Yeah.
2027, and it started a new revolution in the social network. We have this hashtag of for peace, and another is message to billions, and we will develop another hashtag. So please make yourself on this hashtag with
Yeah.
for peace for peace, like eat for peace, think for peace, drink for peace. I mean, not alcohol, and
Yes.
everything, act for peace, just for peace, love for peace. Okay, thank you very much. Wish you all the best. Stay happy, healthy in this difficult pandemic time. We're supposed to take care of each other and pray for each other and all humankind. And see you at the next interview soon.
Yes. Thank you. Bye.
Bye
And
bye.
we welcome everybody to be part of this global cause in
Yes,
conservation of
contact us.
peace.
Receive peace ambassadors and act for peace just today.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
All the best. Bye bye.
Bye.